from Eritrea to Canada. Plus, man, it's to activate super consciousness, make up vocal Thomases, fuck bending gators with promises do. Hand me the silencer, I'm going deep cover. Resurrect the brother, this brother.
Music speaks to millions, while our speeches and our writing speaks to thousands. Music speaks to the heart, it speaks to the emotion, the things that move people.
I think the reason why people look to music for strength and comfort is very simple, because in music, or in music with integrity, it tells the truth in a way that they don't hear on the nightly news, in a way they don't necessarily read in their newspapers, and it's a truth that you can feel.
I've never seen so much reaction to an art form. I know dance can move people and paintings can move people, but music seems to be the rhythm of life, and people seem to respond with a lot of emotion.
Even when I was a kid, music always, like I would be listening to pop music or rock and roll all around the world, and I would be tuning in my shortwave radio, sitting back in Pakistan and listening to all this pop music, rock and roll from all over the world. It just hit me so much, and I just had to pick up a guitar.
We all share the knowledge that music is a universal thing. It's a language, it's a way of communicating, and it's a way of bonding. I've never met anybody that just didn't like music. You know, it's something about being a human being. Some people are more moved by it than others, but everyone likes it.
When you have a problem in society or something that you're unhappy with, music would naturally be a choice to express that feeling of not being satisfied with it, because it comes from personal dissatisfaction in a way. If you're not happy with a relationship, ergo the love song. If you're not happy with a social situation or racism or poverty, you would naturally go and write about it or sing about it or do whatever it is you can to get that off of you, out of your heart.
Anyone that's ever marched in any sort of march around any sort of issue, I don't think I've ever been involved in one. And you know, your feet hurt, and you know, and people say some not nice things to you, and I've had things thrown at me, and I've been arrested, and you know, and then somebody starts, you know, it usually starts with one person, you know, singing, you know, we shall overcome, and then there's two voices, and then there's three voices, and then there's four voices, and then it's everybody singing, and it's never failed to thrill me.
Not going out without a fight, give it all my might, die if I must, revolution minded, get behind it, better yet I'll stand in front.
I listen to music all the time. I think this movement needs music, whether it be hip-hop, just R&B, whatever. This movement needs it because it opens our hearts up and have us believing that tomorrow is going to be okay.
The more we know, in terms of fact about situations not only in this country but all over, hopefully the more we can take action to try and change these things.
You see mothers with their children struggling, their babies, going down to the last meal and then what to do next. And you see the stress inside the mother, you know what I mean? When they come in our office, they come with their heads down. Some get very emotional, they start crying and stuff. That hurts though, to see like a woman crying because of basic need.
We're seeing a lot of more strain on poor women with children, and that we see a lot more homeless. The food pantries are very low. Some of them have closed down because they can't keep the food for the poor people in the community.
2 or 3 years ago, my friend had to leave his job because of health problems. He applied for SSD, but he couldn't meet his budget even with that money. He couldn't pay for his medication. So he had to move out of his apartment and he had to live in a car for a while. Finally, he did find another apartment, but he still wasn't making his budget. And so he stopped buying his medication, and his body became bloated and he died a few days later.
Congress has mandated that 18,000 units of public housing be demolished. This is a bad situation because as of today, the city of Chicago has yet to build one replacement housing for the housing they're about to demolish.
If you do get a job here, it's a basic $5.15 an hour job, you can't live on it.
I got a job nearly enough.
There's nothing here in Harrison County. This used to be one of the most booming areas in Ohio with the coal mines, but once the coal mines died, the county just, you know, no economic base at all here.
Poor people, like just families and children, have to live around, you know, rat infested and just, you know, roaches and just tearing down and broken out buildings. They don't have a place so they can just sit down and relax, knowing that they can be in peace. You know, there's no parks, there's no nothing.
Can't seem to help you at all.
I'm the president of the group called Hope, which Candy is in, and I'm here today to advocate for Candy, for her rights.
Well, why is it that she constantly, when I come in to speak to her, she constantly has an excuse not to speak to me, and whenever I give her my paperwork, she's constantly telling me I don't have it in on time, and I do.
People that have been a part of the so-called middle class or middle management are now the folks that are entering our organization and entering this movement. Large numbers of them are white, have worked their entire lives, now find themselves trying to figure out how it is that they're going to stay alive, whether that's because they don't have access to any kind of health care or because they're having to sleep in their car or in a dilapidated trailer park trying to take care of their families with no income.